Now there have been many popular apps over the years, but out of all the frustrating endless runner games out there was one game that really stuck out a few years ago. It was a simple game, but yet it was a challenging game, one that caused a bit of controversy and many clones of this game. And this game was the legendary game known as Flappy Bird. Yeah, does anyone even remember this game? 'Cause I do. So if you don't, allow me to refresh your memory. I'm going to be going over the history of the game, its rise, its fall, I'm going to be reviewing it, and we're going to see just what the commotion was all about with this game. So let's get into this. So Flappy Bird was an app developed by Dong Nguyen and released under his studio's name, Dot Gears, on May 4th of 2013, on both iOS and Android. It was originally supposed to be called Flap Flap, but had to be changed due to that name already being taken. The game didn't start to pick up in popularity until around the start of 2014. But once the ball started rolling, it quickly became one of the most downloaded apps on the App Store and Google Play. The developer even stated that the app was generating over $50,000 a day through ad revenue, which is definitely a lot. The game was a very simple game, initially intended for quick and simple on-the-go play. You play as a bird named Fabby, or Faby, and have to navigate through the narrow gaps of pipes that come out of the top and the bottom of the screen, whilst you're constantly moving to the right. Basically, you just tap the screen to jump or flap, and if you hit one of the pipes, you fall to your death. As for the graphics, well, they were 8-bit pixelated graphics, similar to that of Mario, and the pipes especially resembled that of Mario. Now this game may seem very simple, and, well, it is. However, this game ended up turning into something much more than that. People would spend hours trying to beat their best scores and the scores of others, or to get the in-game achievements, such as the bronze medal for 10 points, a silver medal for 20 points, the gold for 30, or the platinum for 40. The problem is that getting such scores is incredibly hard. Fitting through the pipes without touching the top or bottom is rather difficult, and doing it for dozens of times in a row without messing up is even harder. And as you can imagine, people can get pretty mad when their perfect game gets ruined, or when they're about to beat their high score and they die just before they hit it. This game caused a huge outrage on players, and people would break their devices in a fit of rage over the game, and there have been several videos of this happening. People were also going out of their way to attack the developer for making the game, saying it was ruining their lives, and it in turn was also ruining the life of the developer, being all the spam emails and stuff he had to deal with. Then on February 8th of 2014, Nguyen decided that he had enough of the game, as it had gotten way out of hand and was really becoming problematic. He didn't like how the player base was constantly messaging him and overwhelming his once simple life, and so he decided to remove the game from the App Store and from Google Play, and then released this message on Twitter saying, quote, "I am sorry, Flappy Bird users. 22 hours from now, I will take Flappy Bird down. I cannot take this anymore." Unquote. Now, although the official game is no longer officially supported on the App Store and Google Play, there have been many knockoff copies made of the game instead, such as Flappy Crush with over 1 million downloads, or Flappy Cat, which is just 9-cat Flappy Bird, with over 500,000 downloads, and of course many more clones, parodies, and knockoffs of the game. But I guess considering that the game is no longer available on the app stores, and because almost every popular game is ripped off to some extent, I can kind of understand why this is the case. Also, people were actually selling their phones with a copy of Flappy Bird on it, which had been downloaded before the game was removed from the app stores. But the thing is, they were selling them for loads of money, like I'm talking thousands of dollars. And because of low supply and high demand, people would actually pay these amounts just for a simple phone game, which is crazy to think about. I could only imagine how much money the last ever copy would go for. Like, imagine that there was only one phone left in existence with Flappy Bird on it. How much would that go for? Assuming the demand was still there for it. Would it be $1 million or a few $1,000,000? I know that may seem far-fetched, but some people already were willing to pay $100,000 back when the game still had loads of copies floating around. And at the same time, people are also willing to pay that kind of money for rare vintage original comic books or game consoles. So would that really be so far-fetched? But anyways, after Flappy Bird was removed from the app stores, people eventually began to lose interest in the game. As for Dot Gears, well, they have made other games. They made one game before Flappy Bird called Shuriken Block, and 4 games after Flappy Bird: Super Ball Juggling, Swing Copters, Swing Copters 2, and Ninja Spinky Challenges. Now these other games have garnered some success, especially Swing Copters, which has over 5 million downloads, but none of their other games stood out as much as Flappy Bird did. So now that Flappy Bird is gone, you're probably thinking that there's no way to play it anymore without having a device that already has it. But fortunately, that's not exactly the case thanks to the internet, because there are tons of websites that allow you to still play the game to this day, like this site called Flappy flappybird.io, which is the site that I'll be using for this video. Okay, so now for the conclusion. Flappy Bird is one of those things that become too big too fast, and end up falling apart rather quickly. Flappy Bird became one of the most popular games pretty much out of nowhere, and the players had sort of a love-hate relationship with the game. Although it frustrated people, it also kept them playing, and this caused many problems with people becoming addicted to the game and having the game waste all their free time, and also having them destroy their electronics. And obviously, since the developer never intended this or wanted this, he decided it was best to just take the game down. And ever since, it's never really been as big. It was just one of those games that was big in the moment but never really lasted in the long term. But then again, it was just a simple phone game, so there wasn't really too much depth to it anyways. So there you go, that's Flappy Bird for you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to hit the L button for like and the S button for subscribe, and I'll see you later. Peace.